Hello and welcome to another episode of Geared Toward Gear. My name is Sean and I'm so glad you're here. Today we've got a kind of a quick but fun video. It's a tag video, and this was started by Paddy over at Paddy's Potato Peelers, the beloved Paddy. So thank you for that. And then BigRedEDC recently did one as well, and I figured, what the heck, it's kind of an open tag, so anybody feel free to do one of these. And the idea here is 3 knives, 1 flashlight, and 1 watch. And with the knives specifically, it's supposed to be knives that you've not carried in a while, like say the last 6 months or so. And then just a flashlight and a watch that are kind of like your go-to. So let's just get into it. A few knives that I have not carried at all, or if so, maybe once in the last 6 months. And we'll start with the honey badger knife. I really enjoy these quite a bit. I have 6 of them. I have all 3 colors in the medium size, which is this one right here. I also have all 3 colors in the small size. And all of mine are the 8CR13 version with the finger choil. I know they did just release some newer variants with different colored backspacers, no finger choil, you know, more blade, and D2 steel. Mine are all kind of the original, which is fine with me. Great knives, love them a lot. Just haven't carried them in quite a while. And I'll kind of talk about why here in a second. Another one that I've not carried in a long time, and I mean a long time, is the Delica 4 from Spyderco. This one has seen some better days. You can see it's pretty stained up. I've had to touch up the edge a few times on this guy. I think I used it to cut like a bunch of limes and some steak when I was out hunting last year, and just kind of left all the residue on the blade, and it stained a little bit, but I think it gives it kind of a nice little character. I'm going to call that lime juice Damascus is what that blade is made of. But yeah, just haven't carried it in a long time. Great knife, just haven't carried it. And then lastly, I think I've carried this maybe 2 or 3 times, and that's the CRKT Polar. This is not the large Polar, it's kind of the standard size, which is a smaller one. This one happens to be in carbon fiber with D2 steel. I don't know if it says D2 on the blade or not, but yeah, I guess it does right there at the end. But this was a Blade HQ exclusive a while back. Great little knives. I do like the Polar quite a bit, just again, haven't carried it. And the reason really why I haven't carried any of these knives is the same reason why I haven't carried a lot of my knives in a long time. And that is that I'm a user. I use my knives, but I'm also a collector. I have well over 150 knives, and so each day I kind of pick which one I'm going to carry, and for that reason, having that many knives to choose from, there are some that just don't get carried as often as others. And I probably have some that frankly haven't been carried in a year or more, just because it's more of a, I guess maybe less of an EDC and more of just a collectible kind of in my eyes. But I try to rotate through them as much as possible, but sometimes they kind of get left behind. And here's just a few examples that I kind of pulled out of the cabinet this morning that I have not carried in a while. So the Honey Badger, the Delica 4, and the Polar. So let's move on to flashlight. So I am kind of a flashlight nerd. I actually just recently sold some flashlights, which I've never sold any gear ever until recently. I've never sold a knife ever, but I did just sell some flashlights to make room for more knives, because that's kind of my first love. And I have a lot of flashlights, but the one that I kind of always come back to is the Lumentop Tool AA version 2.0. This is the second one that I've kind of had as an EDC. The first one I put through a torture test, which I didn't film. It was for a Facebook group, and I dropped it and drowned it and ultimately set it on fire. But this is one that I always come back to, the Tool AA 2.0 from Lumentop. Phenomenal EDC flashlight at around like $16 to $18. They're often on sale on Amazon for like 13 or 14. I probably have 8 more of these brand new in the box. I've given several away. On my last giveaway, I think I gave one away to everybody. I sent one to Big Red not too long ago for his 1-year anniversary giveaway. It's just a great light at a budget price, puts out 650 lumens on a 14500 battery. It's got mode memory, clicky tail switch, pocket clip. It's a nice cool white tint. You can also run it on a AA or a nickel metal hydride or a disposable lithium battery. Just a great light. And I always come back to it. I do like my O-lights a lot, and I do carry them quite a bit, but this is one that finds its way in my pocket more so than a lot of others. And then lastly is the watch. And I wear a watch every day, and it's on my wrist right now because I'm filming in the morning, which is not typical. Usually I film late at night once my wife and child are in bed, but today they're out running some errands, and so I had a little bit of time, so I do have my watch on. And it's a Casio G-Shock. I'll leave a link, or at least put the model number in the description. It's kind of the base model G-Shock in black. It tells the time, the date. It lights up when it's dark, right? Stopwatch, alarm, that kind of stuff. Nothing too fancy, but plenty for me. And with watches, I wouldn't say I'm a watch guy necessarily, but I have probably 8 or 9, maybe 10 watches that I kind of rotate through. But this particular one finds its way in my wrist 90% of the time. I have probably 5 or 6 other G-Shocks and a couple other kind of nicer special occasion watches. And what's funny is my buddy JB over at BigRedEDC, when he did his video, he was saying he didn't have a watch because when he left the military, he kind of gave up wearing a watch and gave up, you know, being clean shaven, all those things that he had to do for so many years. And I had a very similar but also different experience in that when I worked in EMS and I was a full-time EMT and then a full-time paramedic, I had to be clean shaven every day. And the day I stopped doing that full-time, I started to let the facial hair grow. And I've had a beard of some sort ever since. The watch, however, stayed with me. When I went to EMT school, this would have been 15 years ago. One of the first things they told us is get a watch and wear it every day. Taking vital signs, you know, heart rate, respiratory rate, things like that. You need to have a watch. Digital is ideal, at least for me, in that capacity. And so I just got so used to wearing a watch every single day that I just kept wearing one. For me, it's easier to look down at my wrist than to pull my phone out. Nothing wrong with not wearing a watch. Some people are ones that wear some sort of jewelry, if you want to call this jewelry, which I wouldn't necessarily call this particular watch jewelry. But anyway, I do wear a watch every day, and that is the one that I wear most often. So there's my 3 knives that I have not carried in quite a while. The Honey Badger in medium, the Delica 4, and the Sierra T Pilar. Highly recommended Lumentop Tool AA 2.0. I've done a full review on this knife. This is not a knife, this is a flashlight. I've done a full review on this flashlight, if you want to check that out. I've also done a video on the Pilar and the Honey Badger. So that's it. That's my 3 knives, 1 flashlight, and a watch. So thanks, Paddy, for getting this started. Thanks, JB, for doing your video. And anybody else out there who's got a channel, feel free to get in on this and give us your 3 knives, 1 watch, and 1 flashlight video. Thank you all so much for watching, as always. I really do appreciate it, and I'll talk to you soon.